Okay, so you got that. I should have everything I need here. Oh. Dang it. Respirator. Hopefully I didn't forget.
I don't stink that bad.
Oh. Remember that time when, what was it? It was when I was drinking the beer.
Oh, yeah. The dragon breath.
Dragon breath episode.
I could have used it then.
Would have been good.
It's not. Oh, there it is.
Are we live?
We're live. Oh, I can't move. Oh, crap.
You're all kinds of trouble.
It's just very, I'm very restricted.
You may not want your mic
underneath
under that cord.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's, this is a difficult thing to pull off, Nicole.
Yep, okay. It is. It's been a challenging morning.
Yeah. Okay. So hey, welcome to Friday Live. I am Mark.
And I'm Nicole.
And this is our home.
Welcome.
Well, we're always in our home. We're just usually in the garage. Mm-hmm. This is actually our family room.
I figured, a lot of you probably think we're just sitting around in the Sculpted Rocker and the black.
We have two great chairs, and this is all we do is sit around and contemplate how we're not going to make videos to anger people on YouTube, right? Mm. So today's actually going to be a little bit of a special show. I see someone mentioning something about low audio. Does anyone else see that? Because the audio, from what I can see, looks fine.
Bing, bing.
So
maybe it's me.
Let me know for sure, because sometimes we have the mics get jacked up, and I'm going to hold off just in case. I want to make sure everybody can hear it. I don't want to have any false starts here.
Nice fireside. I'm not turning on that fire because for whatever reason it's really hot in this room.
Hey guys, so a couple of different people are saying it's low.
Yeah.
Let me look at my settings here. Audio mixer.
Nicole sounds fine. Mark is low. Thank you, Josh, for being very specific. Bring it up.
Bring it up.
Bring it up. Bring it up.
Oh yeah, I actually. Oh, wait, it's just delayed.
Oh.
All right. Well, I can put it up a little bit.
I keep refreshing. I can't see video.
Well, that we can't help you with.
Yeah.
We're doing our best here.
Make sure.
Sounds perfect to Joseph. If I screw with things on this end, I'm likely to mess up like the recording, which we don't want to do. So just turn your volume up if it's low.
It says fades out when you lean forward. Weird. Change it up. Try
to put it in a new location.
A new location, and then all goes.
I'm going to try one thing here. I'm going to unplug it and plug it back in.
What did you do?
Did you hear that? That was awful.
That was awful.
I hope that didn't mess everything up. Does it sound a little bit better now?
Everything is fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is fine.
Almost like Mark is being picked up by Nicole's mic.
Okay, everybody's ready to go. Let's just roll with it, Nicole.
Do you want to just switch mics?
Not at all.
Because you're going to be doing more talking than me.
Yeah, but...
Ow. Yeah, they heard that.
Sorry, guys. I didn't know it would be like alien. Okay, are we good? Let's go. Let's just do it.
Are you sure you don't want to swap?
I do not want to swap.
Okay.
I want this equipment to work as intended.
Well, you can't just want something.
Any questions or anything to get started?
It's not like YouTube is Santa.
Right. That's definitely not the case. Do you have any questions or anything before we get started? Because today's show is going to be a little bit more of a special edition. We're doing something of a holiday gift guide.
Yes.
In case you're lost for ideas, or maybe you want to share some ideas with your loved ones and give them a little hint.
Since we answer questions all the time about different products, we thought this is something we did a long time ago.
This is old school. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Old school. Yeah, this is the way we used to do it, and it's a little slower, We're not doing any fancy graphics. We're just kind of making it happen. Here's the thing. I've got lots of products that just make a difference in my life in the shop. And so some of these may not be, on the nose woodworking things. Mm-hmm. Some of these may be just fun, weird things that I find interesting. I think you might too.
And I've been told that a lot of spouses watch this show with their husbands or wives.
Yeah, this is a good hint show, All right, so
we're looking out for you.
Let's get to it. This is the 2018 Holiday Gift Guide. And we've got, what's the total number of things we have selected today?
I have no idea. You just sent me the list.
I did, yes. So I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 or 10.
Yeah,
okay.
Something like that.
So what do we want to get started with?
I think we should start with the old tried and true. Oh, you're gonna ignore me.
I'm going to totally ignore what you said, and I'm going to start with the first thing on my list.
Okay, you start with the first thing on your list.
Okay, good. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so we are going to try a little bit of camera fanciness here. Oh, geez, that's not the image I want. Look at this. That's not at all what I wanted. All right, here we go. So this is a pencil set. Anyone who has followed me for any length of time this year has seen that I've gone to this mechanical pencil set. Now this is a little risky, Nicole, because pencils are easily lost.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, something happened with this particular set where I was just infatuated with it. I absolutely love the different sizes, the clicking action on it, the way it actually has a retractable tip. Watch this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Right, so when you actually want to retract the lead all the way, that little metal tip goes away too, which leads to less breakages, and it's just it's a really nice set. So I think what we're going to link to is a 4-piece set, everything from 0.3 to I believe the thickest is 0.9, and I'll tell you just from my own personal usage, while this is a 4-pack, the one I use the least is the 0.3. That's such a tiny, tiny lead. Oh great, there's someone at the door.
This is perfect.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Let's let that roll. That's just how we do it in our house.
Yep.
And I even lost my notes.
That's okay.
I'll just roll with what I've got here. So yeah, there's a 4-pack. You can also get these individually.
They had this as deal of the day last week, and I was like, hey guys, you're always asking what pencils Marc likes and uses. This is a set. So
it's a really nice set.
It was like $30-something. I don't think it's $30 anymore. It's like $50.
Yeah.
But if you use camel, you can kind of see
keep an eye on the price.
Keep an eye on the price, but that is a good gift set. I forgot to mention, not all, but most are in the Amazon store. So amazon.com/shop/thewoodswhisperer.
Okay.
And I'll be putting those in the Canadian and UK stores too.
Canadians. I love my Canadians. All right, so I'm going to jump to a classic.
Classic.
You guys have seen this a gazillion million times. This is my 6500, 3M 6500 respirator.
With pink filters.
Yes, with pink filters. I really like this one because it has this little latch, quick release latch. You can pop this guy up, and that allows this to fall down. So you could take a little swig of your iced tea or your coffee and then pop it back on. Takes all the standard twist-on respirator adapters and filters. These are just the, let's see, they're the particulate, but this is something that I didn't realize until this past year. I always thought like, okay, well, the pink ones are the pink ones and they do what they do. But in reality, they have ones that are just for particulate, and then they also have ones that are for nuisance organic vapors.
What?
So if you are working in, Nicole, I realize this is very confusing. If you're working in an environment that's like, you have a decent amount of air circulation, maybe you're just doing a quick spray of something or a quick oil-based finish, it's kind of a pain in the butt to put on those big chunky organic respirator cartridges. So if you have the set with the nuisance organic vapor relief, you actually get a little bit of protection from that. So if you're not inundating the shop with it, it's just a little bit of exposure. So basically I keep them on all the time. It's always for dust. But once in a while, like when you say, hey, can you go sign a thing for someone and I have to use that little can of lacquer?
Yeah. I thought you meant I was being a nuisance to you.
Yes, there is no nuisance spouse relief available.
Or kid, oh man,
or child relief.
I would pay for those.
Oh, they would be, I would buy a whole set of those. So these guys, I'm going to recommend the pink ones, but make sure they're the ones with the organic vapor relief. I just think it's a nice extra feature. A little bit pricier, but it's worth it.
So this question came up in our community Facebook group the other day, and I was amazed at how many people were saying they used like basically paper masks.
Paper masks are better than nothing, right? If you're not doing anything and you go to a paper mask, I'd rather see you do that than nothing.
Yeah.
We tend to be, look, I eat, sleep, and drink this stuff, and I don't want to breathe woodworking dust.
We had a scare with your lungs, and it was a wake-up call, I think.
Yeah, it's something I've always protected myself from, but once you get to that extra little bit of paranoia, you realize there's really nothing better than a respirator that seals with good flexible rubber up against skin, and preferably no beard action if you can. You will see in the community some popular newer products that are like neoprene type masks, and they're okay. But they are not going to be as good as this rubber seal. So be careful of the hype. You know, if it's a little bit more comfortable, then maybe that's, you know, not necessarily a sign of a good seal.
I was going to say, I mean, if you still are blowing stuff out of your nose.
Yeah, if you're getting schmutz out of your nose at the end of the day, it's probably not protecting you very well. So I really cannot recommend enough. This is a classic product that we recommend all the time. I've been using for years, 3M 6500.
And real men wear pink.
That's true. Just ask Cremona. Yep. He wears pink and purple and thinks nothing of it.
So the doorbell distracted me. I was going to ask you on that pencil set. What are the types that you use? I don't know what.
I already said that.
Oh, did you? Never mind. Sorry.
See, this is the problem.
It distracted me.
This is the problem with the fact that we're a married couple. Is by default, when we're not on this show, we're just ignoring each other.
That's not true.
And sometimes it carries its way into the show.
Sometimes true. I just got distracted.
Okay. So let's move on to something that a lot of people are going. This is kind of the product to love or hate to love, or love to hate. Yeah. One or the other.
It depends on if you have one.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a woodpecker square. Woodpeckers has come on really strong in the last year, I would say, in the maker community by gifting product, which is fine, but they've been around for a long time, and they've been doing their one-time tools for a long time. The reason I put this here is not because Woodpeckers makes the absolute best square, but because they make some great items that are good gifts, right? So they make products that sometimes you go, yeah, you know what, I might like that, but I'm not gonna spend $80 on that thing, whatever that thing is. Well, that's a great gift, right? So what do you buy for the woodworker who has everything? A more expensive version of what they already have, right? So anyway, I mean, Woodpeckers does make some really, really nice tools. Their one-time tool line is cool for niche things. But if you go, I think there's actually a store on Amazon, the Woodpecker store. They've got some regular items on there. The 641 square is a good example of that. And they do make great products. So go take a look if you just want to splurge on yourself or have a family member splurge on you. It's hard to beat a Woodpecker's quality American-made square.
You know what they say?
I don't.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. I treat myself all the time, Nicole. Wait till you see the debit card statement.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so I'm going to move from something fairly expensive to something a little bit cheaper.
Oh, affordable. We don't use cheap.
Less expensive.
There we go.
Yes. Cheap implies quality issues, right? So what I have here is a custom scraper. This is a Wood Whisperer branded, see if you can see our little logo on there. This is a Wood Whisperer branded scraper made by DFM Toolworks. You notice it's got a little blue hue on there, but don't worry, that blue will rub off nicely once you start to sharpen this thing. This is a new scraper that we had made up that is thicker. It's thicker than pretty much any typical scraper out there. This guy is about 50 thousandths of an inch in thickness, and I did that because I like a thick scraper. It's not as flexible, so you're not going to get as much, sort of curvature in the surface as you're scraping. But why I like that is because I want my surface to be flat. I want a nice, strong burr on there that's going to last a long time. It's very easy to sharpen the edge because of that thickness. So this is something that we have a limited supply of.
Yeah, I got like 34 of them.
We put some of these in our loot bags on the Guild site, but we're now making them available to folks, to anyone who wants to buy one.
I put a link in the chat room, and I can't put it in our Amazon store because they're not sold on Amazon. They're sold on our Guild site.
Right, so. Yeah, so this we are selling and shipping ourselves, but this, I basically made this because I wanted it.
I'll make sure that Marc kisses every one of them.
Like this? There might be some oil machining residue on there. I'm not going to kiss that. Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I'll put my fingerprint on
that
it,
one. There we go.
So these are actually really, really durable in terms of the edge, easy to sharpen because you've got a nice wide reference surface. So
and made in the U.S.
And made in the USA. These are they're just easier to use. I find a thicker scraper to be better, and most companies don't make them this thick.
There you go.
I might even venture to say all companies. It's hard to find one at that thickness. Okay, what else do we have here? I'm going to make another inexpensive.
Kurt in chat room just said, I just used that DFM last night. It blew my mind.
It blows my mind.
It was his first card scraper ever.
Oh, good. Good. That's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I'm going to make another inexpensive recommendation here. This one is something that, like, a lot of people are going to be like, come on, Mark. Just now, in 2018, you discovered multi-screwdrivers, right? The thing is, I've always had screwdrivers on the wall. I had, Phillips and flat and different sizes and square drive. I had everything I needed, so I never thought about it. But because I do share tools with the house, this sort of thing has become a lifesaver for me because I keep one in the house and one in the shop. And this particular one, the Megapro, is a really, really nice unit. It has all of the different, different tips here on board. Stores in nice and easily. This guy doesn't, it's not hard to pull out, but it's not going to pop out without you, unless you truly want it to. But just a solid multi-tool screwdriver. There's a ratcheting version.
You know what, that would be perfect in a stocking. Like a little
It really would. It's a nice stocking
sticker.
stuffer. They're not too expensive. There's a ratcheting version of it as well. I have that. I don't know where it is. But Megapro has great reviews on there. That's why I picked this one. And anytime I show it, I usually get a lot of people going, yeah, that's a good one. So this is a great, great tool. And I think any woodworker...
Has almost 5 stars on Amazon.
Yeah, I think any woodworker could probably use one of these. It's just nice to have everything on board. Now, here's the key. You have to put these things back, right? If you go like this, which is what I used to do with these things, and go, eh, and then pick the next one, it's not going to be there when you need it. So you have to be a little bit diligent in how you take care of that tool. What else?
Let's see.
Should we move into a little bit of electronic stuff?
Sure, because I love electronics. It's my favorite.
This was the source of a bit of controversy this year.
It was.
In 2018, I dove into earbuds, wireless Bluetooth earbuds, and did a little shootout. We'll put a link in the show notes for this episode where you can actually see which ones came out on top. But I'm going to ruin the ending for you. Spoiler alert. These are the JayBirds, and the JayBirds, they rocked my world.
He wears them all the time.
I wear them all the time in the shop. I'm doing the home theater project downstairs, and it's loud. And these, I've been listening to podcasts. I've been listening to audiobooks. It's fantastic.
He doesn't listen to me when he's wearing them.
I just can't hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Because of the sound protection. So here's the thing. These JayBirds are not necessarily labeled as a safety item, but they do come with these comply tips. That's these really large foam tips. And the sound, the noise reduction on this, according to my ears and Nicole's ears, this came out on top, even over some of the brands that we know and love because they're very friendly to the maker community. These performed better in terms of our own ears telling us, is this bad for us or good
I see
for
you
us?
had 2 listed.
Okay, so there's the JayBird X3s. This is actually, I believe, an outdated model.
Oh.
So the JayBird X4s are out.
Gotcha.
But here's the thing. The JayBird X3s, if you dig around a little bit, and even on Amazon, maybe not the color you want, they still have some in stock, and they're about $86.
Okay, so they're cheaper.
So they're cheaper now.
Okay.
And you might even be able to find them on sale. Maybe go to Best Buy, see if they have any there. The X4s are the new version, and they're pretty much the same with some improvements. You get about, if I remember correctly, 8 hours of play time on them. Like I said, you get noise reduction that even though it's not being sold as that type of thing, it's a comply tip, and that's what they do. And it was better than all of the other ones that we compared them against in a blind test, even with Nicole's beautiful little silky smooth peaches and cream ears.
I was wondering where you were going with that.
I have no idea. So these, so far, so good. I've had a full year of using them in my shop, and they're still here. I haven't had any warranty issues where I needed to get new ones. So far, so good. Read reviews on the earbuds, and you're going to find every brand of earbud has people with bad experiences.
Yeah.
You know, it's a technology that is built to be in situations where it's going to beat up. You know, get beat up like exercise. At work, on a job site, things like that.
Tom wants to know what powers them. Is there like a little tiny battery in them?
Yeah, there's a little dongle.
Oh no, you charge it. That's right.
So
that's
it's
right.
rechargeable. There's a little dongle with a USB adapter. That is probably the one thing I don't like about the way they designed this, is you have to have that special USB adapter. If you lose that, it's not going to work. A lot of the other ones will charge from like a micro USB or something along those lines. But like I said, diligence in these things. I've got mine sitting, it's plugged into the wall, it's always there. At the end of the day, I go pop it in, and it's ready to go the next day.
Our friend Donna Krieger said, thanks for the JayBirds recommendation. They do indeed rock.
And here's the thing, sound quality, right? I didn't even touch on sound quality. These protect better than the competition, again, according to our ears, and they sound better. Some of the other stuff that I tested just sounded like duty.
And we should say JayBird isn't a sponsor or
no,
advertiser.
They don't give a crap about
Yeah.
But the sound quality on them, the highs and the lows, and it has an app, right? So if you've got a modern phone, you'll be able to put an app on there that allows you to EQ it to your particular needs and whatever you're listening to. It's so good, trust me. Don't even bother with the other ones.
And you did list the SoundPeats, which
SoundPeats.
is a more affordable.
SoundPeats were like $30.
Yeah.
I don't even know what the current price is, and they still outperformed in sound quality some of the other ones. And you could probably get 2 SoundPeats for the price of some of the other guys. Get the Comply ear.
$24.
It's gonna be good.
$24 right now on Amazon.
Right. I mean, that's the bargain option right there. Okay.
There you go.
So let's move into some really expensive stuff. This is the must be nice list.
Yeah. This is the Red Ryder BB gun hiding by the wall kind of gift.
They all have a compass in the stock and this thing which tells time. So what I have here are some beautiful blue spruce chisels. Blue Spruce is one of those small, let's call them like a boutique style company, very small organization. A lot of these are just things you're not going to be able to find elsewhere, just in terms of the looks and the styling. But ultimately, it's still a really good, solid chisel. But what you're paying for a lot of the times is the stuff that's above the tool steel. They are just such gorgeous tools. So these, I bought these with my own money. In fact, I bought these while I was laying in bed at Ann Briggs' house because she had one of these, I believe, one of the smaller butt chisels. And I was like, that's nice. So I'm laying in bed by myself, totally bored and tired because it was like 2 a.m. And like, I know, I'm going to order some really expensive chisels.
I've done that before. Where
ordering chisels?
No, not chisels. I think it was clothing.
I wish you would. So what I wanted to show you here is 3 different styles of chisel. You've got a dovetail chisel, butt chisel, and then a standard bench chisel. They have other tools as well. You can choose colors on, what is this thing called? Is that a ferrule?
You're asking me?
You should know these things by now.
Yeah.
So you can choose different styles, different colors, and also the handle material. So for me, I actually color coordinated them in the sense that I have 2 dovetail chisels. They're exactly the same with the black dilly whacker. And then I believe this is what is this? Something. I forget what that is. I know this is probably Cocobolo and then figured maple. I have to look at that.
Looks like walnut, maybe?
What did it? No, that's not walnut.
I don't know.
Don't be crazy.
Hey, you're asking me to throw some stuff out there. Yeah, there you go.
You're nuts. But this way, all my bench chisels are easy to see. All of the butt chisels are easy to see, and the dovetail chisels are nice and easy. So they do not come cheap, but know that you're supporting, an individual maker of really great tools. And I'll tell you what, boutique makers, there's some great stuff out there.
You know what? Just like our holiday gift guide that we did, the handmade holiday gift guide.
Yeah.
Every single one of those makers do a happy dance if you buy something.
They really do.
They do.
They do. I mean, we're talking about this is not a big organization.
Yeah.
It could be an individual, maybe 1 or 2 people, very small batches of tools going out.
If not dance, they go, woohoo!
I sure would. Well, given how much they charge me for them, they should be dancing. Let's see. So let's go into something more educational, shall we?
Quick question, because I thought I heard you say with those JayBirds, they come with the Comply tip.
They do.
They do. Okay.
African Blackwood is what that wood was.
The SoundPeats do not. You would have to buy them separately.
SoundPeats, yes. Go to the Comply Tips website and look at which series will be adaptable, because you can find out what, based on the thingies, the size of the port and all that stuff, you can actually get ones that are guaranteed to fit the SoundPeats there.
And African Blackwood is what the chat room said.
That's correct.
Yep.
I knew it. I knew that. I was just testing. That's all it was.
We're just making sure they're still here with us.
Yeah. So first of all, let's talk old book. There is a book out there. Can you believe this thing is like 5 or 6 years old at this point?
No, because I have very vivid memories of you. That just does not look good.
Okay. Well, notice what this one is. This is the one that I kept because it is so jacked up. It was a weird cut off of the line.
It got
so
out of
look at how
alignment.
whacked out it is. this thing looks like Dougie had some time with it. So I'm showing this one because I think it's funny. All right, so this is Hybrid Woodworking. It's a book I wrote about 5 years ago, talking about how to incorporate hand tools into a power tool wood shop. Of course, this is still available in our store, also available on Amazon. But we have a new book coming out, and this is a long time coming.
Yeah.
I started writing this last year, and we are finally, as you can see, all I have is a printout of I would call this a mocked up book cover. I don't know for sure that this is what the cover is going to look like.
Right.
But if you go to Amazon, this is what they're using there, okay? So it's called Essential Joinery, at least that's the working title for now. I really, really am behind this book. Not that I wasn't with Hybrid Woodworking.
Right.
But this one is, I think you guys are really going to like this because it's not just covering joinery and like the encyclopedia style books that are out there that just cover every possible joint. Lots of hand sketches, so a lot of stuff is drawn and simulated because they have to cover a lot of things. This is called Essential Joinery for a reason. It's literally the most important 5 categories of joints and a few joints within those categories that I think are the most important for fine woodworking. So if you're a relatively new woodworker, this is going to be the book to buy. And you know, and I tried to make it different. There's a lot of good joinery books out there, and I've read, you know, mostly all of them.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic. But one thing that they miss out on is error repair. So that is something that even right now I'm actually shooting some last minute stuff to cover how to fix mistakes related to these joints. Right, so so it'll be an easy read, very photo heavy, fewer words. It's not as wordy as Hybrid Woodworking was, but this is going to be coming out in the new year. Release date is in March. You can pre-order on Amazon right now, although I recommend you don't, because if you wait,
if you don't want his signature or you don't want to be in the guild, then you can actually save. It says 35% on the book if you pre-order it right now.
Who doesn't want free stuff?
Well, if I can save, but maybe
if you
maybe
buy it from
I
us,
only have $20. So.
Maybe you only have $20.
Okay.
If you buy it from us, we're going to have a pre-order campaign starting in January after the holidays, where you can actually get. We don't know exactly what the deal is going to be, but you'll get something free in the guild. Plus, you get the book, and it'll be autographed. So that's a pretty sweet deal, and that'll be coming in January.
Yeah. And yes, we will make a bundle, but
for the new and the old book, but you'll have to wait.
You have to wait
till the new book comes out to have the old book shipped with the new book. Otherwise, just buy the new book separately from the old book.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see, what else do I have? I think we're on our final thing here.
I think so.
So this one, it's a little bit of a stretch.
Oh, second, we have the Amazon stuff that I wanted to talk about.
Oh, this will all be in the same. This is all about electronics.
That's right, electronics.
So this is more of a bulk category, and I only have 2 examples here because it's hard to bring the Fire TV and stuff over to this spot.
Got it behind you.
So I'm a big electronics nerd. I like home theater, I like good sound, I like home automation. So I'm going to make a couple recommendations. I think they really will improve, you know, quality of life, you know, situations in the shop as well as security. So first thing I'm going to recommend is a camera. Okay, so this is Amazon's Cloud Cam. There are lots of different brands in security cams. There's Nest cams. Gosh, there's so many. I don't even want to mention them all. But we're really fond of the Amazon ecosystem. So we have Amazon Cloud Cams. Very good reception, very quick response. We have these all over the house. And I highly recommend having one in the shop. Having this in the shop gives you a view in there if something's going on.
Notifications.
Notifications if there's motion when you're not in there. You also have the ability for a loved one to check on you. There's times where I may drop something or maybe like something will fall over and Nicole will be like, "Are you okay?" You know, but here's a way that she can actually just check.
Where I can be lazy.
Yeah, he might be injured.
I sort of care.
He might be injured, but I'm going to rely on the speed of our Wi-Fi connection to determine whether or not Marc is injured. So this is just a great thing. Now, if you're doing things in your shop like scratching your butt, picking your nose.
And it's a wireless camera.
Yeah. So you may want to be careful what you do while you're on.
You can turn them off pretty easily through the app.
Very easy to turn off. So good, really nice security update. I don't have one to show here, but something else to consider is a Nest smoke alarm. So we had an incident, not in the shop, thankfully, but it was actually in the basement where one of my amplifiers for the bass shakers that rumble the chairs, that amplifier decided to fry itself.
To melt.
And it was melting and smoldering, and thank goodness we were home, because by the time the smoke alarms went off, we were all awake. I was able to go downstairs within a couple of minutes, figure out the source of the smoke, and unplug the amp and fix everything. I think about 2 or 3 more minutes, and it would have been engulfed in flames.
Thankfully.
It was smoldering, but it was very close to flaming up. If we weren't home,
we would never have known.
I
In fact, we
wouldn't have been
weren't home earlier.
Yeah, earlier in the day we were not there,
Yeah.
so we were so lucky to be home. So I cannot stress enough how important it is to have some kind of mobile notifications. And these things aren't perfect, right? But it's an extra layer of security. So if you can add some Nest Protects, they're called, and they're not super cheap. But I think Costco usually has some pretty good deals on them.
Like a 2-pack or 3-pack usually.
Put one in the shop. You know, there's a good chance you don't even have a smoke alarm in your garage if you're a shop woodworker, garage shop woodworker. So put one in there. If there's an event, a smoke, a fire, or something happens in there, carbon monoxide.
How many times have we seen the rags combusting?
Yep, exactly. And you'll get a notification because guess what? Even if you do have a regular wired smoke alarm in there, if you're not home, you are not going to get a notification. You don't know that something's happening. So it's great that the alarms are going off, but what do you do about it if you don't know about it? So there was such a close call for us. We were just like, screw it. We already had a couple of Nest Protects. But now we have one in each major section of the house, and it's duplicating the effort of, don't disable your normal smoke detectors. You want to keep those hooked up, but it is a new wireless network of smoke detectors giving you notifications on your phone. And I think that's really, really important in the shop. All right, so let's move into entertainment.
Does it handle gas or anything? It just handles smoke?
Carbon monoxide.
Carbon monoxide, okay.
Carbon monoxide and smoke.
Gotcha.
So entertainment.
Yes.
It's important to enjoy your time in the shop, and one of the things I rely on in the shop is Sonos.
I love our Sonos.
We're big Sonos people. We've got them throughout the house.
Yeah.
Absolutely love them. They are very durable. I've had a Sonos that has lived outside in at least 1 winter season and 2 summer seasons, I'm pretty sure. And it's still doing fine, even though it's not
outdoor.
It's not an exterior rated system, and it is covered. It's just it's not exposed to like moisture and snow. It's under an overhang, but it still works. So I have a lot of confidence that this thing is going to last for a long time in the shop too. So I do have one in the shop. For as small as they are, and they make bigger ones too, but the Play 1 is really, really nice because it just has great sound. They have engineered a really good sounding speaker for this format, for what it's, what it is. You can't expect a miracle out of it, but it's pretty darn good. I could play audiobooks through it. I play podcasts through it.
I have my Amazon Music, Pandora. It just works, and that's what I love most about it. And then that we can group it. So like if I'm in the bathroom, but then I go into the kitchen, I can have the same song playing throughout. Yeah,
it's fantastic. And if you have like a smart home integration, like we use Smart Things, you can have notifications and alerts coming through these speakers to let you know like a door was opened, stuff like that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I highly recommend Sonos as a music system in the shop. I think it's really good. But if you get the newer ones, I think it's the Sonos Play 1. Yeah, I think it is. They come with Alexa, Amazon's voice assistant. They come with Alexa integration. So that's actually a really cool thing to have if you have other features and other things with the smart home technology, or you want to do maybe a search or get some information, which will be pretty good. Funny thing.
What?
We talk about penetration of voice assistants.
Yeah.
I was in Home Depot buying a light bulb, and the guy behind me, I heard him he was asking Siri a question about wiring, and he basically said, I'm not going to say the word.
Yeah, you kick it off.
But he goes,
"Hey, lady,
what kind of wiring is used for security systems?" And I listened to it, and I'm like, that's interesting. I don't think I would ever do that. I'm a little bit too self-conscious to do like a voice assistant question. Like the same reason I won't do a speakerphone conversation in front of other people. It feels weird.
I've asked Siri questions in the car, and then she tells me, "Sorry, you're driving. I won't do that."
Sorry, dummy. You're behind the wheel. Cannot do that.
I'm hands-free. Just tell me the information I need.
The other things we want to recommend entertainment-wise, I do like having TV in the shop. A lot of people don't because they think it's a distraction. The way I operate with TV, especially in the shop, it's things that I don't have to watch all the time. I may watch some sports on there, but I'll also watch movies or cartoons
Or old Woodworks.
or old Woodworks episodes,
Yeah.
things I've seen a million times. I'm not actually watching it, I'm more listening to it.
Yeah.
And then occasionally I might glance over and take a look at a score or something like that, or see what jig David made out of MDF. So I do like having the TV in the shop for those things. As an accompaniment to that, I have a Fire TV in there. We adopt certain ecosystems throughout the house. One of those is Amazon's Fire TV system. So
We tried the Apple TV, and I just kept on going back to the Fire TV.
a lot of times it's what you're comfortable with. It's where you've purchased content.
Yeah.
But one thing that's been a game changer for us is the Fire TV Recast. So that is a DVR that allows you to take over-the-air signals and pipe them through to any Fire TV in the house, which means now in the shop, I don't need an antenna out there. I actually have access to our DVR. I could watch things that have been recorded or live TV. Again, we're getting deep into a rabbit hole of electronics here, not woodworking
We cut
related.
the cord a number of years ago.
Yeah.
In
So
fact,
this
you
is-
even have a whole blog post on marcsbag.com.
On my personal blog. Let's not send people.
sorry.
Who knows what the condition of that site is. But yeah, we geek out on this stuff all the time. So hopefully this gives you some ideas for fun
You
stuff
know
in the
why
shop.
I like Fire TVs? Because you can watch The Wood Whisperer on Amazon
Yes,
Prime.
that's right. Nicole has worked very hard for the last year and a half.
Yeah. We
To,
have 12 seasons.
to get all of our
Wood
episodes, or as many as we could.
Yeah, they're all up there.
To get all the episodes on Prime, Amazon Prime. And the thing is, if you are not an Amazon Prime member, it will show, what, 99 cents?
It used to be free with ads, but they dropped that service for some reason, and now
So we don't have, the problem is
Yeah.
we can't control it.
Yeah.
So if you're not an Amazon Prime member, all the episodes appear as 99 cents. We don't want that, but that's what it has to be. But a lot of people have Amazon Prime, which means it's just part of the service. You get it for free. And even the new episodes, there's a little delay, but it will eventually show up there.
Yeah, Amazon has much more stricter regulations than YouTube. YouTube, you can just upload.
Just the format, frame rate,
All are
linking.
professionally closed captioned,
And if you
higher
go-
resolution.
Hammer that like and subscribe button, baby, because...
Oh, they don't like that.
Yeah, that's not
You
good.
cannot have anything referenced in the video that sends the person out of that, because everything is on the TV.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can like or subscribe on the TV. Maybe in the future, but
Right. You never know. Ava tries to. She tries
Yes.
to hit the
Oh,
TV
yeah, she does
like it's a
try.
touch screen.
Yep.
Okay, so I think that wraps up our gift guide.
you can find everything except for the few things like blue spruce tools and the book we didn't mention is in
We mentioned
TWW's.
Nest products. I
Yeah.
don't know if Nest products are available on Amazon anymore.
But most everything
Just
that we
about
have is in the Amazon.com/shop/the-wood-whisperer.
Yay!
Yay!
All right, so that's it for the gift guide. If you guys have any other suggestions when we post this video, leave it in the comments if you think there's a good gift idea other people would appreciate. We will stick around for a little bit to answer some questions, woodworking questions. But just so you know, programming note, we're probably going to cut the video here,
And in fact,
we may put that
we're
in
going to
other
have
places.
to cut it even before because you said leave comments, and Amazon doesn't like that.
Screw them, Nicole. Whatever.
So we've been getting super chats now that we're off throughout, and I'm like, I'm sorry, we're doing a flow thing here.
Yeah, we couldn't stop for chats because we are going to cut that video out and use it on Amazon.
On Amazon.
So,
and like Marc said, there's
So we
specific
couldn't-
rules
yeah,
to
we didn't
it.
want to do the interaction.
Yeah.
But now we will, and I'll drink some water. I'll even put my foot up.
Oh, you're relaxing. So yeah, a few people have said, what chairs are these? This is the Blacker House chair.
Oh, you want to see it?
Yeah.
So this is the Blacker House chair. It's a little tight up here. You
Yeah.
have to forgive me. This is the one that I built at the William Ing School. It's a green and green. Well, it's a sort of his interpretation of a classic green and green design. It is a beauty. This thing is one of my favorite things I've ever made.
And then I'm sitting in the Sculpted Rocker, which just went on sale last week.
It did.
I could not sit in our project that's on sale this week because it is a grandfather clock.
That would be funny. You want to climb up? Look, it would hold you.
I'm sure it would.
It is very well built.
Yeah.
Hey, just a quick thing. I probably shouldn't say anything. John is probably going to get annoyed with me.
He's in the chat room, so
We said we wanted to soft launch it, but I'm too excited.
it's a great
It
site.
hasn't broken yet, and it's been almost 24 hours.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to let people know that we did launch an entire new guild website. So go there and check it out. There's some cool stuff there.
The woodwhispererguild.com.
thewoodwhispererguild.com.
We have some super chats to catch up on. We have Kevin Windsor. He said, when I watch Marc using a chisel and mallet, he uses very rapid taps that I can't replicate. Where did you learn that technique?
Rapid taps?
I
learned it from Adam Sandler. No, maybe is he watching my fast forwarding?
Oh, I wonder if that's the thing.
Because that's when I do like the woodpecker.
Yeah.
I didn't think that I did rapid taps. I mean, I would never tap more than at that rate.
Yeah.
So if that's, I mean, that is a rapid tap, but basically it's forcing the chisel to continue to move forward without overcommitting. Just almost got my elbow to fall off. So I'm tapping lightly because I don't want the chisel to travel too fast or too far, and I can actually make course corrections as I'm doing those light taps. So a lot of times I'll have a fairly heavy mallet in my hand. That's why I like those brass-headed hammers, because it's a lot of weight. So even those light taps are giving me a good amount of control and a good amount of force without having to do a full arm motion. So if that's what you're talking about, yeah, that's kind of what I do. As far as where I learned it, I don't even know that that's proper technique. I don't know anything about it. That's just what's come natural to me and what I feel I get the best results from over the years. A lot of times if you're putting a chisel in a spot and you really hammer down on it, a lot can happen in the course of that chisel going down into the wood, and that may be going off course, it may be denting and pushing back because the bevel hits something else. It's a little less predictable. So that's why I don't usually hit very hard. I'm not hand carving mortises, so a lot of times it's more refined work.
Tom Lesef hooked us up with a super chat and some coffee. So
sweet.
You. Thank you, Tom.
Dude, I could use another coffee.
And then Justin Ford said he's looking forward to your book.
Okay.
And Kyle Schmidt said, hey, I was looking into buying a few copies of your hybrid woodworking books for the kids in my shop. Is there sweet deals if I buy 6 now?
You'll have to contact us directly. We'll give you
Well, I think he did, and I got sick this week. I ate a spicy taco.
A spicy taco.
I am such a whip.
We went to a new taco place, and it was like a Baja thing, and that little pinkish sauce that they put on there. Man, it was at the top tier of my comfort level for heat. And Nicole, who can't even take black pepper in a meal, she's like, oh, it's not too bad. And then later on, she realized it was much hotter than she thought. And boy, did she pay for that.
I've never had heartburn, and I've had the worst heartburn.
Heartburn for days.
I've had heartburn since Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's managed, but holy moly. So yeah, I think I have your email, and I'll be in touch with you and talk with you more about that.
Hey, can I just say a quick congratulations to Scott? He's still in the hospital.
Yeah.
So to Scott and his wife, they got a new little baby.
Yep.
The newest guild member.
Yes.
And I don't even know the kid's name. What's the kid's name, Scott?
He said.
It's probably Marc, I'm guessing, with a C.
The mods and I were joking around. We were like, Marc, Matt.
It'd be great if someone.
But I don't think it's Marc.
If someone has 3 boys and they can just name them Marc, Matt, and Shannon, if it's not too much trouble, that'd be great.
I'm sure the wives would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, congratulations, Scott.
Yay.
Scott is a good friend of the show. Scott made my big giant band hammer. He's one of our moderators in the community group on Facebook. So congrats to Scott and family.
Yay. We have another super chat from Ben.
Maxwell. His name's Maxwell.
Maxwell. Oh, I like that name.
That's a good name.
That's a great name.
I like that name.
Max. Ben.
No, Maxwell.
Maxwell.
They may not want to shorten it, Nicole. Do not assume.
Okay.
Do not assume.
Ben, our good buddy Ben, who's also a moderator, said he bought the Nest ecosystem fully because of you and already had two protects.
I'm seeing comments come in that are making me laugh. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were laughing.
So Ben has, he's on the Nest platform?
Yep, I can't lean back because I'm attached. Ugh. I want to just lean back because it's such a nice rocker. But
Here, let me help you. Yeah. This doesn't need to be here.
Oh.
I'll give you a little slack.
Just put it right there.
Woman.
I'm much more comfortable now.
Okay, now you're good.
There we go. Nice.
All right, go on. Did you guys ever see that episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry has an issue with his pants buckling up all the time?
No, I didn't see that episode.
It's a good one. Okay, that was an aside.
There have been other questions, but I think I have all the super chats.
Let's do it. I don't got all day.
Well, I have to go pick up our daughter.
Well, hurry up. Let's get them done. I don't want to do this with you not here.
Well, then let's just wrap this up because I think that was it.
Oh, we're done with the super chats?
Yeah, we're done.
I thought
with
you said you had.
Oh, I have Patreon questions. Oh, Patreon! I didn't forget you.
What do we have? About 5 more minutes?
Yeah, 5 more minutes.
Okay, let's hammer it out. Quick fire style.
Quick fire. Let's see if I can get the webpage to load. Let's see.
Do it, Nicole.
Here we go. There we go. There we go. That's it. There's no, there's 5 questions. David Wiggins, now that you've had both for quite a long time, what's your current assessment of the Bosch/Kapex miter saw debate? I'm getting rid of my DeWalt 12-inch SCMS because it's too deep for my miter station. Both the Bosch and the Kapex will work, and I have a lot of Festool, as you know. Is the Bosch really better and half the price? Thanks.
Well, I hope you didn't take away from my review that the Bosch was better. The Bosch was presented, it was really meant to be the better bargain, right? Like the better value. The question isn't is the Bosch better, it's more is the Kapex, because it's twice the cost, is it twice as good?
Right.
And that is the question you have to answer for yourself. My answer to that is no. The Kapex is good. There are things it does that other things just wish they could do, like dust collection. But is it twice as good? Most people will look at that value proposition and walk away with the Bosch because it's just the better buy in terms of value. But if there are features on that Kapex that you want and that, really a lot of these other saws don't have, you're not really going to have much choice. For me personally, I actually went away from the Bosch and now I've got a non-sliding DeWalt miter saw. People are going to be like, Mark, would you just stop it?
You're all over the page.
Yeah, I'm all over the map. All right, but so I still think Bosch is the better value. Does it mean it's the better saw? I don't think so. So I think it's kind of up to you where you want to go with that.
Question from Andrew Weaver. So I'm going back to really early videos and working my way through.
Oh boy.
Is there any piece of advice you gave years ago that you've done a complete 180 on? If it's not that drastic, would you say that has been the topic you've evolved most on?
Well, there are a number of things I would say. This would be a fun analysis for me to do. One of those I could say is in the world of finishing. Millie, no, you're not going to make it. Trust me. The dog wants to get on the couch and there's like tripods everywhere. It's not happening. I would say finishing is a big one. I've changed with my personal desires of what kind of finishes I want to be exposed to. That's changed a lot. When I first started, I was more into production and I was doing a lot of lacquer and a lot of HVLP. So while I still love my Fuji turbines, my use of them has really dropped off dramatically just because I'm getting more into no VOC finishes. Another thing is I've had a lot of people asking me follow-up questions on things like the torsion box. Back in the day, torsion box, I was just following my buddy David Marc's advice and making a dead flat torsion box. Over the years, I've come to realize that having like a 4x4, 4x8 dead flat surface, while nice, is absolutely not necessary. So I actually had just yesterday someone asking me questions about what he should do for setting it up to get it dead flat, and I'm at this point now where I'm like, I'm contradicting myself going, dude, I don't even know that it's worth it to build the torsion box anymore. Like, they're cool, but my torsion box that was flat, just over the years, it's no longer dead flat. And even if it was, I'm not sure it's doing much for me. So if I can get a nice, level, flat base, right? Base cabinets. And then I could start building, let's say, an MDF sandwich, maybe 2 or 3 layers of MDF. And then I put a straight edge on it, and it's not perfectly straight, but then I go back and I kind of shim it up a little bit here and there, and then secure it to the base. If it's pretty close for furniture making, that's good enough. We're not machine shops. We don't need laser dead flat. So that's something that I've changed quite a bit on. And there certainly may be other things. A cutting board, this goes back to finishing. I was probably one of the only people who was out there saying, put varnish on a cutting board. I don't think it's a totally bad idea still. I still am behind what I said at the time, but my personal viewpoints on that have changed. I will no longer put varnish on my cutting boards. I've moved to more natural oils, but like polymerized oils. And still, I don't want to use mineral oil. I still don't think that that's a great finish. But using a polymerized tung oil or a polymerized walnut oil, these are woods that are finishes that will actually dry, and eventually with enough coats, they do build up a decent amount of protection. I just don't feel the need to put anything with mineral spirits on my cutting board. And that is a little contradictory to the viewpoint that I had before. That doesn't mean that other people can't do it. It's just my personal desire for certain things in my kitchen has changed.
John Patton.
That's a great question. I like that.
That was a good question.
Give that guy the Guild Project.
All right, Andrew, I'll be in touch with you. John Patton. Oh, I have an Uncle John Patton. I don't think this is my Uncle John.
I'm sure it's not.
Do you have a recommendation for hardwood source in Denver? I'm looking to start the gaming table, and I'm thinking of where to get the cherry. I know 2 near me, Austin Hardwoods and Front Range Lumber, but I've only bought small amounts of stock from each.
I've never gone to Front Range. Because Austin Hardwoods is about 15 minutes from the house, and now I don't want the fact that we now have a collaboration, relationship, partnership with them. The reason I have that partnership is because I've been shopping there for what, 3 years now?
3 years, yeah.
2 years plus. And I like the stock that they have. The personnel is great. I don't feel the need to go anywhere else. And then eventually I was able to meet Randy over there, really nice guy, and we're kind of just trying to help them with their social campaigns by working together. So Austin is hands down my recommendation, a great lumber resource. There are others, but that's just worked for me.
We have a spreadsheet in the Facebook group, the Denver Area Makers. So if you're not already part of that Denver group, look for us on Facebook, Denver Area Makers. Tell me where you live, Denver, Colorado, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you can get access to that spreadsheet, and it has a whole bunch of resources in it, including Austin.
Right. Someone wants to know why you are the abominable snow monster.
My question is, why wouldn't I be?
You clearly have never seen her in a snowstorm. She is quite the scary sight.
I picked out the stockings. I thought, yeah, that kind of fits me right now. Let's see. We have another question from Stumptown Woodworks. The theater room looks amazing. Do you guys use it all that much? Probably not for the everyday kind of TV watching, I imagine. Also, not that a speaker box is very hard to build, but have you ever thought of making a speaker, or have you done it in the past? I've been dipping my toes into speaker building lately, and definitely want to do more. I remember that.
You know, Ara from HT Guys is getting into speaker building, and I heard on the show today he's talking about retiring, and one of the things he wants to do is to get more into woodworking, which is pretty cool. So HT Guys is a great podcast, by the way, if you're interested in home theater and home automation.
Is it HT?
HT, Home Theater Guys, not HD, HT.
HT.
So thank you for the kind words about the theater. The theater was actually getting used quite frequently by the kids.
Yeah, the kids,
and that was
turned
problematic
it into a playroom.
Because there were toys in there. There were toys everywhere.
And they got a hold of like sidewalk chalk.
So Ava's in there with the sidewalk chalk, decorating my flat matte black painted job around the screen. That was fantastic, let me tell you.
Yeah.
So we haven't been using it as much as I'd like to, but I'm going to change that. And the reason I'll change, like now that I'm getting back into the whole refining of the space, getting a little bit of new gear, I'm super excited about it. We'll probably use it more.
Game of Thrones is great. We watched American Horror Story down there.
And there's so many good shows we need to catch up on. So I also plan to do a little bit of gaming down there. And I think it's a little easier as the kids get a little older and they're sleeping better, that I don't have to be down there with a monitor, or we'll probably still need the monitor.
Yeah, we do.
But they're not waking up at 10 o'clock all the time, like stuff like that. So yeah, we'll be using it more, but it'll definitely be more of a special occasion thing, not an everyday thing. That's a lot of, it's an event, going down there. And plus, we have a basement and a second story. Kids are on the second story. I kind of don't love being in the basement for a long time while the kids are 2 floors up.
Right.
But that's why we have to have the monitor.
Yep.
And the Amazon Cloud Cams.
That's true. Bob DeVries says...
Speaker building. I'm sorry.
Speaker building.
I've built a couple speakers in my time. I have not done anything recently. It might be something I do in the future.
When you first started out, when you were doing it professionally, I remember that guy asked you to rebuild those speakers for him.
Yeah, so I have done this stuff. I just haven't looked into it in a serious way, like recently.
I'm just going to let you know, I'm not picking up Ava until it's time to pick her up now.
Okay.
I'm not going to, she's going to stay home today.
Oh, I see. I'm with you.
Yep.
No half day.
No half day. Bob DeVries says, Mark, you use Osmo on the jewelry box. Do you think about using a pore filler first, or do you feel the Osmo with wax content is enough? I'm in the process of making a new project, and the mahogany seems very open pored to me. Not that I'm looking for a glass finish, but smoother would be nice.
Yeah, you know, the thing with Osmo, though, is you're not really going to get a glossy finish out of it. So I wouldn't, I mean, if you want to fill the pores, go ahead. But it will still be smooth. You'll just have, you know, some of those pores will get a little bit filled with finish, not all of them. You'll still see the pore pockets and the grain lines, but I don't think that's problematic. But if it would, I think it's really just going to be an appearance thing. So if it bothers you, then go ahead and do the fill. If not, which I would recommend not doing, I think it will probably look the best without it. Skip it and just use the Osmo.
There you go. Alex, why didn't you paint the walls before doing the trim on the home theater?
You know, I hear different strategies on this, and my particular strategy was the fact that my walls...
He can't pick a paint color.
Well, that too. My walls, well, yes, the paint color is something that I'm having trouble making a decision because the carpet isn't in, and the trim wasn't up, so it was like paint was something that I could do anytime. Like, I could figure it out later. But the reason with regard to the trim, and a lot of people may have a different workflow than I do, but my goal with the trim was to simply get the trim up, have the trim finished.
And
right?
you made the trim, right?
Well, not all of it.
Not all of it, but some of it.
But have the trim with finish applied, put it on the wall. My walls are not perfectly straight. They're wavy. So once the trim goes up, I could then tape off the finished trim, caulk my lines, let that caulk dry, then come back and paint up against that tape line. It'll still be taped off after the caulking. I could paint it. Then when I remove that tape, it's going to be a perfectly clean line, and all of my little gaps and stuff will be hidden. I don't see any advantage, if that's my workflow, I don't really see any advantage to painting first. I'm still going to have to address the meeting of the painted wall with the trim, and I don't see how that's going to save me much time and effort to paint first. That's just, again, here's the thing. I've said this before with my posts on this. If you're going to look at my stuff and go, why didn't you or you should have, you're probably right. Right? Because this is not my job. I'm not a professional installer. I'm not a professional painter. I'm just doing a workflow that makes sense for me, and I know I can get good results from it, and that's why I'm doing it.
That's it. There you go. Bob just did a super chat and just said, thank you. You just saved me some work.
Boom. I'm there for you, Bob. Always looking to recommend the lazy path.
And everybody is agreeing with you about picking paint colors.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not good at it. So the more variables that are not in place yet makes it harder for me to commit.
To visualize it.
So when the carpet goes in, I'll have that there. I will have no furniture in there, so I will be able to put tarps down, completely cover everything, and finally address the paint color and do my trim.
Sorry.
And everything will be dandy.
That was a loud cough. Did you make, Tom wants to know, did you make the trim around the door?
I did the door, yeah.
You did the door. Okay, that's what I thought.
And I'm making some of the other custom elements. I didn't do the baseboards and I didn't do the crown. I actually had to match crown that was already there.
Oh, well, Lysol too. Marc has some build videos coming up on the free site. We got the bunk bed.
Bunk bed is on its way. We're working with an editor now to just give me a little relief from that. The bunk bed is waiting. The doubling your drawer storage video that I did, that one's waiting. And there's a couple other things. We got a Ashley turning video that's there.
There we go. And for those that have the gaming table project in the guild, the coffee table plan is uploaded. So
oh, the plan?
The plan.
So you put it in?
You did. I watched you do it.
Oh, I did?
Yes, you did it.
I don't remember doing it.
I told you to do it, and I sat there and I watched you do it.
I remember you telling me. I just kind of remember not doing it. So yeah, the plan is there, but there will be a video. The video is coming. I just got to get up. Here's the thing, guys. The home theater job, I liked it. Like, I liked it and hated it at the same time. It was a personal project.
Wasn't it Peter that caused you to take those 3 weeks for yourself?
No. We keep going back to Peter's comment because I didn't have a good answer at the
Yeah.
time. And then coincidentally, days later, I now had the answer.
He like dropped a little
It
thing.
must have been that.
Yeah, it was like,
I blame your brother. It was your brother giving me...
take some time.
Your brother was here, and it gave me more confidence that I could get more done than I really could.
Than with him here.
Yeah, so the home theater project has just dominated my daily, routine. And the book is being finished up right now. So I had some deadlines to meet with that. There were just a bunch of things and none of them related to producing content for the free site. So.
Okay, so you didn't upload it. I thought I watched you upload.
I see my memory on ignoring what you tell me to do is really good. And I knew that I did not upload that.
I swear I watched
How about this?
you upload it.
As soon as we're done here,
Yeah.
I will go upload
Okay.
it, and you'll be able to get the SketchUp plan and I believe the PDF.
Yes.
Even though the video is not totally ready.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, dear.
And anyone who is
Thank you, dear.
interested in this home theater stuff, I really put the emphasis on home in a weird way when I said that. Home theater.
Home theater.
Go to my Instagram page, and I've been doing stories and in the occasional picture. If you go to my profile on Instagram, one of the highlighted stories, which is a way to kind of put a bunch of stories together, is home theater. And you could follow along with what I've been doing. It's very non-typical Wood Whisperer stuff.
AAAAA just did a super chat. And said,
Double A.
have a coffee.
Thanks, man.
I think we will.
Or girl.
Or yep.
I do plan to have a coffee. I think I might go out and buy another one.
Maybe
Maybe I'll stop at Sherwin-Williams and rely on the help of a paint expert
there you go.
to give me some color recommendations so I can take them home and not like them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man, it's been great. And I'm sorry for calling you a man, but the experience with the home theater thing has allowed me to connect with a bunch of woodworkers who also happen to be home theater geeks.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just fun. I've got some exchanges going with people who have really great ideas and
hobbies are good.
A lot of experience, and it's fun to find co-conspirators in our hobbies.
Josh Doolittle, our friend from Arizona, keeps on pushing this smoky purple color at Lowe's.
Smoky purple? Dude, there's already smoky purple.
We don't want purple.
The smoke from the fire plus the purple that was there.
Before.
The home theater used to be purple.
Yep, it used to be very purple.
Someone said that even some of Cremona's best content is on Instagram. I'd agree with that. Instagram, look, a lot of people, you're not into it, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah.
But it's a pleasant place to be. I like being there, and I get a lot of gratification out of putting simple, quick videos there and good content there. So, it's not a substitute for the Wood Whisperer, but if you're curious what's going on and you want to keep up, follow me on Instagram. I promise you'll get a regular stream of good content.
So if you are interested in that card scraper and they sell out, I do have 10 reserved for loot bags. So
that we can pull from there?
Well, no, that are in the loot bags. I'm not pulling those last 10. That means there's only 10 loot bags. And if you're wondering what a loot bag is, it's a bag full of cool stuff like collectible coins and all of that. So there you go.
Smoky purple is a nice darker gray that only has a small hint of purple. It's very nice. Look, because the whole entire home theater was purple before, I will never put anything with even a remote hint of purple in that space.
Purpley.
Just on the principle of it. It's very purpley.
Very
but I'm sure it's a beautiful color.
Yes.
All right, what else we got? Are we done?
We're done. I'd like to get some coffee. It's funny because the spicy taco incident kind of overshadowed me actually being sick.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
You burned through it.
Congested.
That was actually my nickname in college.
Smoky taco?
Spicy taco.
Spicy or smoky taco.
Smoky taco was the name of my band.
So, all right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us for this experimental...
Yeah, this was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Being in our house. But hey, thanks for watching. We hope you have a wonderful holiday season. We will continue doing Friday Lives throughout the holiday season, but this was just one that we wanted to get out a little bit ahead of Christmas for last-minute gift ideas.
Yep. So thanks.
Okay, thanks for watching, everyone. Toodaloo.
Bye.
Toodaloo. I wonder what was going on with the audio at the beginning. That was kind of weird, huh?
Oh, somebody asked about loot bags. I'll send you a link and you can read about it.
Yeah, the woodwhispererguild.com. Go into the extras section of the store. You'll find the loot bag there.
There's the loot bag link.